So I'm gonna ask you a question. It's kind of like a big debate. A lot of people been debating this, and it's been a lot of mixed reviews or mixed opinions in regards to this. When you look at the comparison of LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, what's your thoughts of who's better?
I think it's unfair, and I used to get into these debates a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I started to look at things a lot differently now.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfair when you start matching everybody up from different eras.
Mm-hmm.
Because bottom line is we really can't. We ain't gonna never see it.
Correct.
LeBron can only play against who he's playing against. Mike can only play against who he played against. Wilt, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would never bet against Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried plenty of times growing up and tried to like different teams from Detroit, Portland, Miami, everybody. And Mike still hurt my heart every year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just think Michael Jordan is probably the greatest winner in basketball. You know what I mean? And I think as far as his niche was two things: dominant scorer,
mm-hmm.
dominant defender, but three things: and dominant mental and personality.
Yeah.
LeBron is very skilled. He can do multiple things. He has the physical size. But as for much as I like LeBron, I don't seen LeBron pack it in before when he accepted like, oh, this is it. It's not more I can do. We're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan mentality, that's why he's undefeated in the finals. He's not losing.
Mm-hmm.
He don't care. I seen Michael Jordan grip Scottie Pippen up by the collar of his jersey and tell him to stop playing, start playing hard, like stop playing like a punk. Never, you know what I mean? That's the different mentality.
Do you think that if, like we mentioned earlier in the interview, we mentioned that the killer instinct. Do you think if LeBron had more of that killer instinct, do you think he would have more championships?
Without a doubt. If he had the killer instinct, LeBron James would be the greatest player of all time.
Mm.
If he had the killer instinct.
With his physique and, his ability.
To do multiple things, multiple positions. In this era, too, at his size, he can play anything from the 1 to the 5. 6'8", 245.
Yeah.
In this era, with his small ball and everything, too, without a question.
Mm. So, so I'm assuming you picking, you're saying that Michael Jordan is you would choose.
Yes, I'm taking Mike all day long.
Okay. So you mentioned that you that you have, a like for boxing. You're heavy in boxing.
Yes.
So I want to jump into, some boxing right now in regards to what's going on in the landscape of boxing. We just had a fight, Shakur Stevenson just for Artem, and then, a lot of people were saying his fight before that he didn't show up in regards to him performing. He was like running around the ring. What do you think about Shakur Stevenson in his last two performances?
Snooze fest. I'm very critical on Shakur.
Mm-hmm.
I'm critical and hard on it because I believe he's talented. However, two things. I don't understand the Tank comparison, and
mm-hmm.
people go crazy on Tank's resume. But Shakur resume, who's his biggest one? And like before De Los Santos,
mm-hmm.
who at that time when he fought him only had 15 fights. He was 14-1. Artem just was 11-1, 12 fights.
Yeah, something like that.
Come on, competition got to get better. Got to be bigger. You got to get better. You got to give better performances for you to be able to be in those big fights. I think Shakur made a major mistake by not taking the 25% that was offered by Devin Haney and Bill
mm-hmm.
to fight Devin. Go took the short money that would have put Shakur on pay-per-view because Devin was on pay-per-view at that time.
Correct.
Beat Devin. Now Tank has no choice but to fight you.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And he would have got more even if he would have still with the free agency route.
Mm-hmm.
Because he beat Devin, he would have been able to get more in his free agency market now that he's in. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's going to get a better deal than Top Rank just offered him.
Was it $16 million?
$15 million guaranteed, minimum $3 million per fight for 5 fights.
but there has been speculation that he's possibly going to go with Floyd Mayweather. Which, what do you think about that? You think that's going to be that will help his career a little, bring more light to him, and possibly get him the fights he's looking for?
I think it's a circus, and he's going to be the pawn in that circus with Floyd. Floyd and Tank have issues as public knowledge.
Yeah.
Tank was his fighter first. Tank left. Leonard Ellaby, close friend, and advisor to Floyd, leaves Floyd, goes with Tank.
Yeah.
Now you want to bring in the Tank nemesis. It's a circus that's going to hurt Shakur. You know what I mean? Because how many fights is he really going to get besides that Tank fight? The smart thing would be to go with Matchroom with Eddie Hearn.
Yeah.
That will put him on pay-per-view on the zone. However, Eddie Hearn ain't gonna pay him that $3 million that Bob was gonna pay him. Bob Burnham already said it on Cigar Talk. He talked that Eddie Hearn's not gonna give him the $3 million a fight.
And I was there at the fight with Artem, and in the fight wasn't even sold out. Even though they had the curtains down for a lot of the other seats, but the seats that were available, they weren't even sold out.
See, I'm glad you're saying that, because I just had an argument yesterday with a good friend of mine who's an advocate Shakur fan, who said, well, he sell out of Newark, and you just told me from someone that was there, that wasn't even sold out.
It wasn't, no.
And then they was leaving and booing. This is the second fight in a row.
Yeah, they were booing Shakur in that fight, and they got up and left. And then I saw something where Shakur said, how much did they pay people to get up and walk out? And then another person was like, well, I guess they just cashed that. So he was like, Shakur, they just cashed out everybody and made everybody walk out the arena? With what I saw from Shakur, and you can kind of elaborate on it, it seemed like he's a little bit too defensive, in my opinion, at times. Yes,
and that's why I don't think he can ever beat Tank, because he don't let his hands go. And for him to try to beat Tank, he's going to have to sit in that pocket and let his hands go. And somebody was telling me he's a pocket fighter. I'm like, I don't think he's a pocket fighter. He's a range fighter. He jumps in and out of range. He don't stay long enough to sit in the pocket, to let his hands go, or to dip, to make you dip. He's going to get out of there. And he's also, if he knows that you is a possible power puncher, he's not going. He's staying out of range.
Yeah.
I don't see a judge giving him a decision over Tank being that boring. He's eventually about to get robbed in his next fight, I think. If he do not put somebody away and he gives another performance like that, them judges are going to take that title from him.
Do you think Artem, his last fight, was there for meaning he should have stopped him?
He should have stopped. His grandfather told him to stop him. His grandfather was arguing, because I watched it on TV, the grandfather telling him, what are you doing? We got to step on the gas. We got to get him out of here.
Yeah. So by him not putting, this being his last performance, like you said, this may have hurt his stock as far as him being, a fighter. Whereas people want to shine light, people want to come and see him fight, because they were actually booing and everything. I'm pretty sure y'all might have heard it. I heard it in the arena, but I'm pretty sure I don't know if they
we heard
it on TV. Wow. So now you flip over to Gervonta Tank Davis with his stardom, his star power, his ability. His resume is actually, in my opinion, you can probably elaborate. His resume is actually, in my opinion, a lot better than Shakur's.
It's way better, and it's decent. Look at the names that Tank done beat. The Leo Santa Cruz, that's a two-time division world champion.
Yeah, that's a tough fight.
Mario Barrios, current world champion. Pitbull Cruz, current world champion. Rolly Romero was a world champion. He beat Pedraza back in the day, world champion. I mean, Tank Davis is instant.
Ryan Garcia
just put on, which I hear how it all played out with the PED thing.
Correct.
But that made that Ryan Garcia fight look so much better, the performance. But Tank Davis is must-see TV.
Yeah.
Because he gets you out of there. His ring IQ is at a higher level, just as high as Shakur. And people don't give him credit for that. They just give him credit for the knockouts. But he figures the way to knock you out. He cuts the ring off where you can't keep running.
Yeah.
And once he has that X factor.
Yeah, he'll clip you. So looking at the Tank Davis versus Frank Martin, that fight, you watch Tank stalk him, up to the 8th round before he clipped him. Do you think that style would be enough for Tank to possibly stop Shakur Stevenson? He kind of fought that same fight. Think he stop Shakur?
I think the way you beat Shakur is definitely pressure. Because Shakur He's only a come forward fighter if he doesn't respect your power.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be questioning himself because he knows Tank power.
Mm.
So if Tank continue to press him and come forward, Shakur is going to, his natural reaction is to back out. Like I say, he's a range fighter. So he's going to back out of range. Then he's going to keep backing and backing until eventually that back start touching them ropes.
Yeah.
And then I think when Tank let them hands go, it's over. Well, if Tank lands, he's going to break him down and lands. I don't think Shakur, and I think Tank can stalk Shakur because Shakur is a great counterpuncher.
Mm-hmm.
However, he don't have the power to keep Tank off long enough for Tank not for Tank to gain his respect. I don't think he hit hard enough.
And I heard in an interview Tank said like once I get hit, somebody hit me, they know I'm coming straight forward. I'm coming to get him out of there. And he showed it.
Right.
Leo Santa Cruz. Think about his last 5 fights was outside of
Pitbull
because he hurt his hand. But he knocked out Santa Cruz. But Pitbull he beat him with one hand. Then he knocked out Rolly Romero going backwards. Like he caught him going backwards. Ryan Garcia stopped him with a body shot, and then he just stopped Frank Martin in a devastating knockout. Like he really destroyed him. And these are all world class fighters.
Absolutely, and not only that, Frank Martin set Artem down.
Exactly.
And Shakur couldn't.
So it's been, when I was at the fight, I don't know if it's true. When I was at the fight, I spoke to a lot of the media people, and they were explaining to me that the Tank and Lomachenko fight is done.
Yes, that's what I was
for October, November. They're saying that it's basically done. I don't know how true it is, but it's what they're saying. What do you expect to see in that fight?
Same thing, night. Because as great as a boxer Loma is, what Loma does that Shakur don't do, Loma is going to let his hands go at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to try to trade. And he's going to leave himself open. Something's going to land.
Yeah.
And I think it's just knocked out. That boy just got that X factor, man. You got guys that come around in boxing every 10, 15, 20 years, man. And
they got that.
They just got it, man. Tank Davis is a 1985, 86 Mike Tyson in the lightweight division. But better skill. I don't say better skill because the Tyson undercuts the model and Kevin Rooney had the skills. He got undisciplined. Mm-hmm. But you talking about a discipline, Mike Tyson, right? And
Tank, he earlier on in his career, he had a lot. He missed weight a few times, maybe once or twice, I believe. And then he kind of now he hears the way he's talking, the way he's speaking. Like, look, man, I'm focused now. I got a 6-fight deal, whatever the case may be. I'm just focused. Like, I'm making weight. I'm coming into the camp 139 pounds, no higher than 140 pounds, so forth and so on. So he's like razor focused, razor sharp. And then I was just speaking to another guy. They said Tank already in the gym already. They're like some guys that are from the Baltimore area. They said like Tank is already in the gym training.
Yeah, I believe it.
So it's like he's like razor focused. So you're predicting he's going to stop Lomachenko?
Yeah, I think he's going to stop Lomachenko.
All right. So outside of Tank Davis possibly stopping or fighting Lomachenko, what about Devin Haney? In the Ryan Garcia saga, Ryan Garcia was positive for PEDs. Do you think that Ryan Garcia offered the PEDs still had the same outcome with Devin Haney?
I think so. They was 3-3 in the amateurs.
Yeah.
And Ryan just had a thing about Devin where he just knew Devin can't hurt him. Mm-hmm. You seen the confidence that Ryan had all through the press conference. Even though he's acting crazy and all that, he stayed confident that he can beat Devin. He knew he could beat Devin. Mm-hmm. It's funny. I don't know how this played because I could have swore that the PED stuff with Ryan, the hair tested negative, but everything else tested positive. Mm-hmm. But if you watch that fight, Ryan didn't look like a PED fighter. Yeah. PEDs help your stamina and your endurance. Ryan was gassed at the round 3. Mouth wide open, putting his hands down, turning his back.
Yeah.
That wasn't done by design. He was gassed.
So do you think, now that, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fought by Ryan Garcia, he's been suspended for a year or so from boxing. Do you think that they come back and fight next when Ryan comes back off of that year layoff?
Well, the year layoff is crazy. It's fun. It's laughable because the fighters they only fighting once a year anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
So what was the point of that? But I don't know. From what I'm hearing, if he's he's trying to sue Ryan and all that. If he's doing all that extra stuff, he's gonna mess up the bag for the second fight.
Yeah,
Because the second fight will do a lot of money pay-per-view buys. I mean, Ryan Garcia sells.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Devin Haney, biggest pay-per-views, Ryan Garcia, same with Tank Davis. So Ryan sells. So if you don't want to mess that bag up, you better stop with that lawsuit. But I think Devin shot, man. I think his confidence is gone because at the end of the day, we can't forget that ass when we saw.
Yeah. So this is speak about Devin Haney. You know, he complained about Ryan Garcia being a larger fighter, but I saw something where they kind of placed the last 5 fights that he's had. He came in actually a lot bigger as far as his physique, not on duty, than the other fighters. What do you think about him saying that Ryan Garcia, bullied him with the PEDs and he was bullying all the other fighters?
That's the stuff I don't like, and that's what I don't like about Devin. As much as I like Bill, but Devin, like, come on, you came into the ring after the weight. You made weight at 140 against Prograis, but on fight night, you came in at 165, bro. It's 25 pounds above the weight class on fight night.
Yeah.
You cannot sit there and complain about Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
With the weight. You took the money.
Yeah.
They just thought they was gonna beat him. They didn't care. They knew. I know you overweight and all that. You better than you took the money.
They
just
mentioned
assumed that you just was gonna run through this ball.
Because in the interview, they said weight don't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
I heard him say that. So now the PEDs that they're saying that wasn't his system, and Ryan Garcia made a statement. He said that the amount of PEDs that was in his system, that's like putting a drop of urine in a swimming pool. That's how much they detected was in his system. So it wasn't even like he was like going. I don't know if this is true, but I heard Ryan Garcia say like it was like so small of an amount that was in my system, like no way it could have affected the fight.
See, I don't know how the PED drug testing thing go, because my thing is if you court with something, it should be one rule, period. So it shouldn't be different rules for different people. I don't want to hear it. Well, it's not the same amount and all that. Canelo got court. They didn't put an L on his record or no contest. We fought the female fighter, Alicia Baumgartner. Same thing. Shane
Mosley.
She court Shane Mosley.
Yeah.
So for them to take that, put that no contest and put Devin O back, it's kind of shady, and Ryan gets suspended. They suspend everybody. It shouldn't be a certain amount and all that. If you're going to do it one rule, just do it one rule. You can't get court with no PED.
So fast forward a little bit. So, we don't know what happens with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Tank Davis wins. He fights Lomachenko, wins his next fight. Do you think him and Haney possibly get in the ring at some point? And if they do, what do you think will be the outcome of that fight?
No, Haney won't never fight Tank. Because number one, Haney can't make 135. Tank was going on record saying he's not going to 140. He's staying at his division. And he only fighting at 135. And Haney wouldn't do I guess he might now because the stuff going down. So who knows? He might do a rehydration clause and meet him at a catch weight at 138. I think Devin is going up to 147. I think he's moving up in weight.
Do you think the lack of punching power is going to be good for him?
No, I do not. And I think it's nightmares because if you get in the ring with boots, it's night-night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's what they say. But Devin, I don't think he can control his body. He's so young and he's just naturally big-boned it.
Yeah.
He just can't make those weights no more.
So another fighter that, a lot of people were saying that he kind of delusional and a lot of things that he's saying, which is he just fought Claggett a few weeks ago, Teofimo Lopez. What do you think about Teofimo Lopez?
Crazy thing is, I'm a big Teofimo fan. I love Teo. I've been a fan of Teo when he first started. I watched Teo a lot, first starting fighting out. Teo was just one of those guys, and I played basketball. I know certain guys that look terrible in practice, terrible in pickup, but when the lights is on the brightest the most, they stars the most.
Correct.
And I just think T.O. has that personality. He's just that type of guy. I think when the bigger the lights are, the better it is for T.O. When he's fighting mediocre competition, he fights at a level. And it's like guys that play basketball, you ever heard that saying, he's playing down to his competition. And I think for some reason T.O. just does that, and he can't get out of that, that's not always a good thing too, because eventually he's going to get robbed on the scorecard.
Yeah. I thought that 2 fights I thought, that could have went either way. One was the Haney Lomachenko fight. A lot of people were saying that they thought Loma won, yeah, and Teofimo his last fight,
Virgil Ortiz.
I mean,
yeah. Jermaine Ortiz.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jermaine Ortiz. People kind of thought that Jermaine won that fight because he kind of won a lot of the earlier rounds.
I can see that. I gave that to T.O. The one that I thought T.O. lost was, what's the name?
Who?
The one that Devin's supposed to fight is mandatory. What's my man name?
Who? They just
gave him the belt, and he's going to fight Gary Russell too. That's the crazy thing. If he win this fight, what is my man name? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now even myself.
But I thought he beat T.O.
Yeah.
But I could see people saying Jermaine beat T.O. I mean, T.O. was hard for T.O. to catch it.
So Teofimo's, he's been adamant saying that he wants to fight Crawford, and saying that that he can beat Tank. Now, what do you think about him fighting Crawford? I don't think that's a good idea. I think he would probably, in my opinion, I don't think he would win that fight.
But, hey,
right now.
It'll never happen because, number one, Terrence Crawford is at 154. T.O.'s at 140.
Yeah.
Now, T.O. fought Claggett, from what I'm hearing, he fought him to see how his body would feel to the punches, because Claggett has fought as high as 154.
Okay.
And he fought a lot of fights at 147. So I guess that was his testing out thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. T.O. need to stay where he at and clean out that division. What
about Teofimo versus Tank Davis? Who would you pick to win that fight?
That's funny. T.O. might only be the one that can beat Tank because of the physical attributes. T.O. has the speed. He has more speed than everybody else. Yeah, including Shakur. Shakur is more shifty and crafty than speed. T.O. has the athleticism. He has the explosiveness, especially when he was fighting at 135, explosive power.
Yeah.
Right? So he has all that stuff that can make Tank think twice or derail the Tank onslaught.
Yeah.
However, T.O. has been proven to be a little chinny, and it can be night-night. You get touched by Tank.
Yeah.
So I personally would think Tank, but I would not be shocked or surprised if T.O. was to pull an upset if he was to ever fight Tank.
And you look at Teofimo last all his fights at 140, he hasn't really stopped anybody. So people saying his power didn't transfer, so he hasn't stopped anybody at 140 pounds.
Yes, he has it, but I think the power is still there because nobody has stopped him too. And the biggest puncher out of everybody he's fought, that was his best night, which was Taylor.
Yeah. And
he was constantly hurting Taylor.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's the biggest puncher that out of everybody he fought, Taylor was by far bigger puncher than him. So again, I just think T.O. is one of them guys, man. It's a mental thing. If the eyes ain't on him to lose, or it's the capability to lose, or he knowing people betting against him, you're not going to get your best T.O.
Exactly. So you also, earlier in the interview, you spoke about people in different eras, meaning like it's hard to compare NBA players from this era to this era. So it's been something that's been, launched on the internet, speaking about, like, saying, hey, what would happen if Tank fought Floyd Mayweather at 135, both Pretty Boy versus, Tank. if you know, just a scenario, who you think will win that fight and why?
It's hard to pick one, but I think I will go because I was a bigger Pretty Boy fan than Money. Pretty Boy Floyd knocked niggas out, knocked jokers out.
Yeah.
I mean, I seen the Corrales fight. Defensively and mentally, I think it's the master versus the teacher versus the student.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff Tank he got from Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
So I would pick Floyd in that instances because at 135, Floyd had a lot of power.
Yeah, he was knocking out everybody.
Knocking guys out.
I think he had like a 6 or 7 knockout streak, something like that.
But it'll be close. It'll be a very good, entertaining fight.
All right, and two, just roll on to, we got other fighters in the boxing world like David Benavidez. He's been, he just moved up to Ford at 175. He didn't get the stoppage, but he's fighting a strong guy at 175. And it's been highly noted, or highly notated, I should say, that Canelo has been ducking him, and not taking that fight. Why do you think Canelo hasn't fought Benavidez as of yet?
He don't want to pass the torch. I think David Benavidez, he would be the next Mexican star, and he's not ready to give up the torch. I think Canelo want to play this thing out for another 2-3 more years. It's sad what they doing to David Benavidez. He's been the number one contender for all the sanctions for Canelo, and Canelo just not fighting him, and they won't strip Canelo.
Yeah, that's not, I don't honestly agree with that, but I do. Now I think I'll take that back. I don't want to say I don't agree with it, but I kind of I understand it, even though I think it's a little unfair a little bit. I understand why they are doing it because Canelo, he's been around for so long, he's been proven, he's been fighting all these years. And the WBC and all of the sanctioning bodies are saying, "Hey, look, Canelo, just make the decision at some point, to fight Benavidez, and it's really up to Canelo to decide when he's ready to do that."
Well, he the cash cow of boxing,
Yeah.
so they want to be in the Canelo mix every time he fight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more so like he's phasing David out, whereas he gonna prolong. I think he's saving David for his last fight.
Yeah.
He's going to try to fight Berlanga or somebody else next.
Yeah.
Or Jamal Charlo, the other Charlo. Then Berlanga,
I think that'd be that'd probably be a tough fight.
If
we fight Big Charlo, not on
right.
duty, Big Charlo will probably be, a tough fight for Canelo. Berlanga, I don't know. I haven't seen enough from Berlanga as of yet.
Yeah, but Berlanga's not ready. He's to fight some of them other younger guys. But Big Charlo have all types of mental problems and only had one fight in 3 years.
Yeah, he came back and he looked pretty good against.
But he fought a 47-pounder that moved up to 68. Like, come on.
He fought Benavidez' brother, right?
Jose, who's an original 47-pounder.
He got stopped at 147 too by Crawford.
Yep.
Yeah. So now looking a little bit more into the aspect of boxing, the promotional aspect. If you spoke about Jerron Boots Ennis signing with Eddie Hearn. How do you feel about that sign? You think that's a good move for Jerron?
I think that's a good move. I really do. I think PBC, they take too long for their fighters. Look how long they fighters that fight. I mean, Keith Thurman, they fighting almost 3 years. We don't know when Spence fighting again. And he had all types of issues. I mean, they move on their own terms. I mean, Al Heyman just got the clutch so hold, and a lot of them PBC fighters are leaving now. I think Eddie Hearn brings a lot of good, fresh energy. Coming from the UK, and he's paying these fighters good money, keeping them active, bringing fights to their hometowns.
Yeah,
that's what they need. I think that's all good promotion.
Now, just to speak about why a lot of the PBC fighters are actually leaving, this is also speculation. This is what I was informed of when I was at the Shakur Stevenson fight. They're saying that Al Heyman is actually really sick.
I believe that.
Yeah, they're saying that he's like terminally ill, like possibly like where he may not recover, like he possibly going to pass away. So this is, I don't know how true it is, but this is what they were said to me, like he's like really, really sick. So if it's true, we do wish the best for Al Heyman. but they were saying that's why a lot of the fighters are leaving, because Al Haymon is probably not going to make it. Now, without Al Haymon being sick, if he can, possibly make it through whatever he's going through, if that's true, and make it back, I think that he has an opportunity to kind of get PBC back, headed in the right direction. What do you think about Al Haymon as a healthy Al Haymon or whatever of Al Haymon and what he's done for the sport of boxing?
Oh, Al Haymon, a very smart businessman. Talking about a man that come from the music industry, promotion. He always was on the promotion side, throwing events. He actually do the first rap event ever. It was at the Spectrum.
Yeah.
The Bud Fest when Houdini and all them guys came to Philly. What was that? '84.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Al Haymon. So he comes from the promotional side, and he came in smart. He came in before he even was a promoter. He came in like with Floyd. He was his manager.
Yeah.
So he didn't come in even as his promoter. He took Floyd to be his own promoter.
Yeah.
He's a very smart businessman. He changed a lot of fighters' lives. However, even if he's sick, PBC has been a conglomerate, and you have Sam Watson there, very knowledgeable. That train should still be moving, but I hope Al the best and he pulled through.
Yeah. So it's looking at the boxing landscape, and what they're saying as far as boxing. You have Shakur looking to possibly lead Top Rank, and we mentioned that he might want to take that money because it may not be a better opportunity for him going forward. Then you look at somebody like Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn just signed Boots. A lot of the fighters are going over to Eddie Hearn. Do you think that's somewhere that Shakur may go?
Well, I was told that from listening to the Bob Arum interview on Cigar Talk that Eddie's not going to pay Shakur $3 million for a fight. He's just not going to do it. The fight on the zone. So, I mean, I think he should. That would be the best option. But if they're not going to give you more than what you could currently get, then why go? Why leave? I don't.
Yeah, I think he's gonna probably see what's out there and then make a decision. He possibly may turn around, but it seems like him and Floyd is like real close, and he's talking to Floyd after the fight. So I think that might be the route that he may go, because with his skill, like I was always saying, I want to backtrack a little bit. I was always saying that I always wanted Jerron Boots Ennis to sign with Floyd. Reason why I say that, I thought that with Floyd's stardom and his skill, and you attach him to Floyd Mayweather's name, because you gotta be honest that some of the reasons why Tank Davis is in the position that he's in is from Floyd.
I agree.
And you attach somebody like Boots with his skill to Floyd, Shakur to Floyd, it just makes a recipe for attention to come to your fights and so forth and so on.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's funny. So, if you know the history between them two, Shakur and Floyd. So 2016 Olympics, Rio de Janeiro, Floyd goes down to Rio. He tried to sign Shakur while at the Olympics.
Correct.
Shakur denies, and he goes with Bob Arum, the Top Rank. Who's Shakur manager? James Prince. James Prince, former Floyd manager, had a big falling out, big fight in Gleason's gym in New York between camps. They ended their relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that will play out. Maybe Floyd and Jay Prince don't hash their decisions. I just think Shakur is fishing, and he's going to bring unwanted attention. I think if he do sign with Floyd, I think he will get a lot of backlash from the boxing community.
Wow.
That's just me personally. I just think he will, because it's going to be Floyd doing the talking for him.
Yeah, which is going to probably be like the back. Like you just signed with Floyd. Floyd Mayweather is all in the cameras, and
Exactly.
you piggybacking on Floyd. So outside of the boxing world, I'll kind of stay a little bit inside boxing. What do you think about Jerron Boots Ennis at some point possibly facing Crawford? Who wins that fight?
It's tough to go against Bud right now, because Bud the number one fighter in the world, I think. But is also 36, 37 years old. Father Time is unbeatable, and if anybody can beat him, it is a Jerron Boots, and it's with the skills that he has, the age that he has, the corner that he has.
Yeah.
So I think he does have a good shot at beating Bud because he has all those things. He had those things working for him, and he has the talent. And Bud is up there in age, and Father Time is unbeatable. So eventually, if Bud don't get out of there, somebody will beat him.
Yeah. So I think that Jerron Boots Ennis and Bud Crawford are very similar in a lot of facets of their fight game. I think they have a lot of similarities, and I think that that'll be an amazing fight. I think that fight will be more competitive than Crawford Spence because that was like a white. You watched him, but something I would like to see. So just we kind of touched on the aspect of boxing. And one last thing, I know you mentioned Canelo, you mentioned Tank Davis. Who do you think is the face of boxing right now?
Canelo, without a doubt. Don't nobody get paid the money he get paid. Don't nobody do the numbers he does.
There has been speculation. I'm gonna cut you off. There's been speculation that Tank got a 6-fight, $240 million deal with Amazon Prime. This is what has been put out in the media. And Tank also alluded to that deal being more lucrative than the deal that Floyd signed with Showtime at the time. So
I believe so, and Amazon got the money.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't believe that. I just think as far as sales to the people, it's Canelo because Canelo got a whole country behind him, and Mexicans in Mexico, they support boxing heavy.
But
I think Tank is the future face of boxing. I would say that Canelo's the face and Tank is the future face.
Because if you look at it, you can have an argument either way, and I agree with you in a lot of ways for Canelo. But to make an argument for Tank, you put Tank in any arena, anywhere. You can put him in D.C. You can put him in, you can bring him in Philly. You can bring him in New York. You can bring him all around, and he's selling out. I think he got like 7 to 8 consecutive sellouts. So that says a lot in boxing. I don't know if Canelo you can put Canelo anywhere other than Vegas or Texas and so
California.
forth. Yeah, somewhere like that. I don't know if you can put him somewhere where he would sell out like they move a Tank around.
I mean, I think he will because he's Canelo, and on the East Coast, it's a lot of Hispanics that's here.
Yeah.
So if you put him in Philly at Wells Fargo, it will sell out. You'll be.
Mexican. Yeah, they everywhere. Yeah,
yeah, they'll be there.
Yeah, but
I definitely see that argument. I agree with you 100%. Tank can fight anywhere and sell out anywhere, and he's proven that.
Yeah,
that's why I when I talk to people and argue, I let them know like there's levels between Tank and Shakur. Shakur he ain't selling out Newark.
So if Shakur can take the 25% with Devin Haney, he's gonna get possibly offered a whole lot less. He'll make more money because
the pot is bigger, right?
But he probably wouldn't even get 25% for that fight.
I don't know. He might not, and I
think
he
might wouldn't. I don't know. They would give him 25% because Tank is alone is the draw. So right. you might make it might make the fight a little bit more interesting as far as the name, but I'm already doing half of 500,000 homes with Frank Martin and so forth and so on. So how much more are we going to sell the fight with you?
Exactly. That's their argument. He doesn't bring nothing to the table. Now, if I'm Shakur, I'm looking at this now. He might need to start calling back out Devin right now. Go away from Tank, and if he's smart, that might be the route to go because everybody knows just what happened with Devin with Ryan. People will want to tune in to see how Devin's going to respond.
Yeah, and
they have a history with each other. Devin and Shakur.
But do you think Devin will take that much of a dangerous risk right now?
He has no point at this time. That's why he gave up the belt because
Top Rank won the bidding war with
but the money was so low.
Yeah,
he's so upset. That's the only way Top Rank.
What was it like? How much was it? $3 million, $4 million?
No, it was like 1.3 or something like that. That's what they were saying. That's why he was saying he was going to sue Ryan because this is messing with his earnings.
Wow. So we'll see what happens with that. Anything else you want to add in regards to, where can where can we find you at on Instagram or how can we follow you on?
Instagram is _Stan Jones,
Mm-hmm.
and on Facebook, Stan Jones. I got a blue suit on that picture. I think it's 2 because I had an old Facebook, so
Yeah.
it's 2. I have 2 accounts, but the new one had me in like a blue suit.
Okay. Yeah. So we got to you got to come back, man. We got to do this again. I really appreciate you coming through. And you're welcome anytime to come on TBISE. We got a lot of things coming. A lot of more. We in pod rooms now, so we actually expanding our office and expanding our platform. So you're welcome to come on anytime, man. I really appreciate your knowledge, man. Thank you for coming through today.
I definitely appreciate it, man. I love to be back.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see one thing. I'm working on my wife written and directed her own movie, first movie called Queen's Days,
mm-hmm.
and it will be out early fall. Everybody check it out. It'll be on a platform, either Amazon or Tubi.
Okay, check that out, y'all. Check that out. Go ahead and check out the movie. And we thank everyone for tuning in to TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. We out.
MegaCare LLC, giving you an abundance of what you need. Do you know that MegaCare LLC has been top rated in home care since 2020? If you have a loved one, a neighbor, a friend who needs home care, if you're looking for top pay, 401k, benefits, health, call now, 215-644-8341. That's 215-644-8341.